Okay, let's try and unpack this. Just imagine your deepest beliefs, maybe your community, even rituals,
Yeah,
being recorded, governed, not by, ancient text, but by code on the blockchain. It sounds completely wild, doesn't it?
it absolutely does. But diving into the material we've got for this deep dive, it really shows this isn't sci-fi anymore. We're looking at, well, a strange new world.
Mhm.
Blockchain-based religion, worship DAOs.
Right. And our mission today is to figure out what this mixed faith, finance, techeri, what it actually looks like and, why it's even happening.
Exactly. We're exploring stuff that suggests the line between, let's say, the digital and the divine
Mm.
is getting really blurry,
Yeah.
faster than maybe we thought possible.
So the core idea behind it all, according to these sources, it seems pretty straightforward, actually.
Kind of, yeah. It boils down to if the internet can decentralize money, decentralize communities,
Mm.
then why not spirituality? Why couldn't faith structures be sort of reimagined on a network?
And there's a specific example mentions 0x Church, and it's presented not as a joke, right? Not satire.
That's right. It's framed as a living, breathing community. Think about traditional religious stuff,
Mm.
but redefined.
How so?
Well, instead of passing a collection plate for tithing, maybe members stake crypto, lock it into a smart contract.
Like a digital offering.
Exactly. And it connects them to the community's governance, too. Sermons might happen on
You get
Discord. Blessings or membership could be NFTs, those unique digital tokens.
So taking old concepts and mapping them onto new tech.
Pretty much. Very traditional ideas,
Yeah.
blockchain mechanics.
Okay, but why are people drawn to this? The sources seem to point towards, well, a basic human need, right? For meaning structure.
Yeah, especially maybe in the digital world, which can feel chaotic, full of scams, uncertainty. People want something stable, something they feel they can trust.
And they see that in the blockchain.
For some, yes.
Yeah.
It's more than just technology. They see qualities in it that feel almost sacred,
Mm.
like immutability. It can't be changed.
Mm.
Transparency, a sense of being eternal, incorruptible.
Mhm.
Understanding that perception is, I think, really key to getting why someone might build faith on it.
Which leads to some pretty striking ideas in the material, like God as code, worship as participation.
Yeah, exactly. Faith is open source, something the community builds and evolves transparently. It flips the whole thing on its head.
And the hierarchy is gone too. No priests.
Right. It's not typically ruled by a central authority. Governance often comes down to members holding special tokens.
Governance token.
They let people vote on practices, propose new doctrines, maybe decide on collecting religious NFTs together.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. The sources say this isn't just like some fringe thing anymore. Theologians are actually looking at this seriously.
Yes, the material definitely indicates that. There are serious discussions happening, people asking big questions.
Like what?
Like, could a decentralized faith be more democratic? Could the transparency help, root out corruption we see in big institutions? And even, could a genuine spiritual awakening happen on-chain?
Wow. Okay. But then you have the critics too, mentioned in the sources.
Oh, absolutely. They're quick to label it a gimmick or even, a cult.
And there's historical context here, right? The line between satire and real belief can get fuzzy.
It really can. Think about things like Pastafarianism or even Dogecoin. Started partly as jokes, but built real communities, real belief structures around them in their own way. History shows that shift can happen fast.
So looking forward, the sources hint at some really mind-bending possibilities that are maybe becoming less hypothetical.
Definitely. Like, imagine logging into the Metaverse for church, or
So-
inheriting a crypto faith wallet from your family, digital blessings, sacred texts.
Or even the idea of the next Messiah not being a person.
But emerging from code and consensus, a sort of guiding principle validated by the network itself. It sounds completely out there, I know, but the material suggests this kind of evolution is actually starting.
So boiling it all down after this deep dive, we're seeing this strange, but apparently growing, reality. Faith getting tangled up with really cutting-edge tech, moving on to the blockchain.
Yeah, it really highlights that fundamental human drive for connection, for meaning. Just finding new ways to express it, using the newest tools we have, pushing boundaries.
So considering everything we've looked at from these sources, here's a final thought for you listening. Could the actual structures of our oldest institutions, like faith, really be redefined by our newest tech? And what does it even mean for faith when its foundations are built on code and consensus?